What's going on, guys? Welcome back to JR Garage and welcome to a new car reveal. Not just any new car reveal, it is arguably one of the coolest cars that have ever joined the JR Garage. That's because right in front of me is one of the coolest RestoMods I've ever seen, and now we are the proud owners of it. So without further ado, introducing to the channel our new 1969 RestoMod Stingray. Bam! So there you guys have it. Welcome to the garage. We need a name for this thing. It is too cool not to have a name.
How about like deep space? This dark blue 1969, the year that we went to the moon. Astronauts drove this thing.
Dude, yes, it needs to be space themed. The Celestial Stingray. Anyway, something space themed. Comment down below names for this car. Where do we begin? Christian, they did everything with this car. This probably took like 2 to 3 years to build.
It really did. We had to offset some of our carbon credits that we were gaining with all those electric vehicles. I don't know how those weren't some of the coolest car reveals ever to grace the channel, but we heard you guys needed some American muscle. I think we delivered this thing with the LS7.
Yeah, you got that right. This is about as far opposite of the spectrum as you can go from an electric vehicle, because packed under the hood of this RestoMod, we have this massive 427 7-liter fuel injected LS7 crate engine.
Carbon fiber intake valve covers?
Yes, with a Kinsler carbon fiber intake manifold. Apparently one of only 2 ever made in the world, so that's kind of cool. Definitely makes a statement when you pop the hood on this thing.
Dang, well if that's one of 2 and this paint job is, well, I think we have a one of 1 Corvette on our hands here.
Without a doubt it is. This is truly bespoke, custom build on our hands. The previous owner did an incredible job with it. Like I said, not only did it take a few years to build, it took well into the 6 figures to do this car up. So this is without a doubt cream of the crop RestoMod. They did an incredible job with this. It was built by a professional shop out in New York. That's actually where I bought the car. We'll talk about the story of how we got the car and why we own it in just a second, because it's a crazy story. But we're about to hop in, so I just want to do this walk around real quick and then we'll get into that. Come on, this rear end, Christian. 69 Corvette. This is one of the most iconic muscle cars ever. This thing is gorgeous.
Forge line wheels, Willwood brakes. I think we need to put all this up on a sign, get a little easel, a lawn chair, and go to some car shows.
Be a certified Corvette owner. Yeah. Wait, is this like our first Corvette?
You might remember, OG subscribers, we had a C3 Corvette. Look what we've done to it. No part of that C3 is anything like this C3. It was a little bit more economical for us to just go out and jump on this deal than to try to do it with that 74,
74
convertible automatic C3. The OG subscribers remember from 10 years ago.
Yikes, our first C3 is nothing like our latest C3. Yeah, like you were saying, the Willwood brakes. Case in point, when I tell you this RestoMod was done right, those brakes alone, small fortune. I mean, that's a lot of money to upgrade the whole braking system with the fancy booster and all this setup right here. Top of the line brand, of course, the Forge line wheels. I'm usually not one for flashy aftermarket wheels, but these things look so good on this car. The deep dish, it's even more pronounced in the rear. I mean, look at the size of this with the polished lip. It looks so good.
Are the centers paint matched to the silver two-tone job?
Oh, almost. Interesting. Yeah, no. I think they are. That silver matches this silver, which matches this silver. I mean, this was a frame-off restoration, so they were really tasteful, blending all the colors together. This is a custom paint job, which custom paint jobs can oftentimes get a little over the top and crazy and not look good to a lot of people, but I would think you're crazy if you tell me this doesn't look good. So I think they nailed it. They definitely spent a small fortune on the paint job. It is just in perfect conditions.
I think this is a car that even modern, exotic car people can really appreciate. This thing is sporty. They really brought this thing to present day. Just all the supporting mods. Like you see some of those hot rods, they throw a big crate engine in it and it's a death trap.
It still has drum brakes.
Seriously, this thing entire suspension.
Let me show you what he's saying. Throw this thing on a lift and you'd probably win an undercarriage award. This thing is gorgeous. All brand new, all painted. And check out, while we're under here, this custom Billy Boat exhaust. Super cool. We've worked with them before on the C5 giveaway Corvette. And without a doubt, it makes a proper rumble out of that LS7. They say on the Motor Trend article, yes, this car was featured on Motor Trend and it was on the cover of Vet magazine. I'll put those in. So this car is like kind of famous in a way when this build went down. But they say in the headline of the Motor Trend page, 575 injected horses done right, or something like that. So this engine with the cam and the tune and the carbon fiber intake and this exhaust, they say 575 crank horsepower, which is a scary amount for a car that is now 56 years old.
So speaking of our C5 giveaway, what should we do with this thing? Give it away? Well, that is kind of sort of how we ended up with it. The previous owner gave it away to charity.
Yeah, it's kind of a sad story. Well, we should say the previous owner's wife, I think. Unfortunately, the guy who built this car, he died when the pandemic hit in early 2020. And the wife, I guess, sat on the car for a few years, probably just sitting in the garage, not sure of what to do with it. And then recently, earlier last year, she said, hey, let me just give it to charity. So we bought it from the charity sale where we raised a ton of money for the charity. So that's kind of cool. And we got a super cool car out of it. So we've been driving it for the last couple months. I actually bought it in New York, like I said. Sasha and I picked it up in Long Island, going through Brooklyn traffic, and this thing was absurd. Every 21-year-old in an M4 or a boosted Honda Civic SI wanted to race me in this thing, and I'm like, leave me alone, I just picked this thing up. I'm still learning the car, I don't want to race you, just stop. But aside from the people trying to race me, I'm telling you, probably over 100 people gave a thumbs up, talked to me at a gas station, honked their horns, you know, said some nice things, whatever it may be. This thing, I swear, gets more attention than a Lamborghini. I'm not even joking. More attention than a Lamborghini, and all good attention. Everybody loves it because I think you never see them anymore. It doesn't scream like, oh, I'm some pretentious millionaire in my Lamborghini. It's just like, I'm a car guy with this. So I think it attracted the right kind of attention. I really enjoyed that for the last couple months. But now, we might be saying goodbye already. We just introduced it 5 minutes ago. What do you mean we're saying goodbye?
No, this would round out the collection really well. But
you're right, this does make a nice addition to the collection, so some people are gonna fight us in the comment section, but we have the opportunity to put this thing in Friday night's Barrett Jackson auction coming up, and I think it's an opportunity we don't wanna miss. Ideally, we talked about this. We were like, hey, let's buy it, let's keep it for the summer. No, this is not a summer car in Arizona. Let's keep it for the winter and then sell it when the summer heat comes along, because no air conditioning, and this wouldn't be fun in 100 degrees. So that was the goal, to keep it for like 6 to 8 months. But Christian's like, yo, the Barrett Jackson auction, we've always wanted to consign something. Exactly. Why don't we put this in it? It screams Barrett Jackson.
We've always wanted to consign something, but then we remember no reserve on anything. I mean, we take some big risks. You take some big risks on some sight unseen purchases. I mean, this was a sight unseen purchase. There's a risk, so let's keep it going, consign it to Barrett Jackson, and let it ride.
That's the plan. So we're gonna be driving over to Barrett Jackson today and hopefully dropping this off if everything works out and letting this sell, no reserve. Bid high, bid often, so that we don't lose money on it. That would be greatly appreciated. But anyway, let's fire it up. I'm sure you guys want to hear it. Sorry we're racing so much. The cutoff is 5 o'clock for Barrett Jackson, so we're like trying to get in there and get a spot. All right, let's fire this thing up. That noise is the brake booster building up pressure for the disc brakes, and then it's push button start right here. So fire in the hole, 3, 2, 1. Fires right up. Oh man. Oh gosh. All right, another thing that's super cool, look, they put the gauges up here. So we got water temp, volts on the battery, air fuel ratio, and oil temp. The only thing that doesn't work is the water temp. Even if it's cold start, it'll be reading 200. So this gauge is reading wrong, but I think the old original one might work. So aside from that, everything appears to work. Even the headlights, all the turn signals. So my 200-mile drive back through Long Island was uneventful. It actually all worked out. Oh yeah, and did I mention it has carbon fiber backed sport seats? Kind of fun. And the roll bar and harnesses. I mean, this thing, when I tell you they thought of everything on this build and did it right, they did it right. I'm sure you're wondering how many miles on the build. I'm guessing they reset that when they did the restoration. So that means it has 6,200 miles on it. So that's kind of cool. This is a RestoMod that you can like actually drive. Yeah, it's a 56-year-old car, so it's not gonna drive like a brand new Corvette, but it's not something that's only meant to be parked in the garage and like will never drive, if that makes sense. It's a drivable build if you want. But it's also something so pretty that a lot of people might just leave it in their garage just to look at it. This thing is just such a hoot to drive. The crazy front hood with the bulge for the engine and then the big fender flares. I mean, a C3, you would know. If you've driven a C3, you know what I'm talking about. It is such an experience just looking over the hood and the attention you get. I mean, this car is so much fun. The only thing we had to do to it was a little bit of suspension work. We found a shop down in Chandler that specializes in these old RestoMods because it was making some metal on metal noise, and sure enough, some of the bushings were starting to degrade for some reason. Maybe it's just so much power going through the suspension that it started to wear out a bit after 6,000 miles. So no big deal. They ordered new bushings, got new rubber, replaced like springs, and just went through all the suspension to make it all fresh and beefed up a little bit, I guess. And now no more noise. So that was done. An oil change, a new battery, obviously, since it was sitting for a bit, fresh gas, you know, just basic stuff like that to get it back in business, rejuvenate it a bit after a little bit of a hibernation after the owner builder died. So the only thing that's not 100% perfect besides the water temp gauge not reading accurately, apparently the tune is very dependent based on the car's elevation. So each one of these throttle bodies, I guess since it has 8 individual bodies, they each need to be tweaked a bit and tuned to match. So it's very difficult. And this car was tuned at sea level elevation, New York, obviously. And now we're at like 2,000 feet, 1,600 foot elevation. So I think it's just slightly off. So when we sell this car, whoever buys it, they're gonna need to like tune it again, probably based on their elevation. So we figured let's not touch it because it has to be done again anyway, if that makes sense. But it still drives pretty good and runs great, but that's the only thing that would make it like 100% perfect. The rest of it, dialed in.
Sweet.
We somehow fit 6'6" at our height. That's pretty impressive. Oh man, this thing's crazy. Oh, you're probably wondering the transmission, right? No, it is not original. You probably could have guessed that. It's a Tremec 5-speed, modern, and it holds the power nicely and shifts great. Oh yeah. Wait, is this your first time in it?
It is.
Oh, yeah.
You said we've been driving this thing around and enjoying it for the past 2 months. I have not been in it.
This is first time. That's why I'm driving it, because I've got it down. Although it is pretty easy to drive. Oh man.
Thing's got T-tops too. We can be enjoying the Scottsdale winter.
That is true. We have removed it. I'll put in a picture. It pops right out. It's easy. Cool design. Classic LS howl, especially LS7 nonetheless. I don't want to push it too hard, but man, this thing is a lot of fun. Pretty easy to drive too.
Nice. That thing's sweet.
Oh man, sounds really good with the window down. Where are the consignment cars in here? All right.
Well, you made it by the skin of your ass.
I made the cut. Oh man. Okay, thanks. All right, there she goes. Yep. And then a lot of people coming on. Yep, there it is. All right, so there's the Corvette dropped off in the checkout line. Tomorrow it'll be placed in the prime inside climate controlled area, ready for some bidders to check it out and preview it. We're gonna get it all cleaned again. Every day we'll be dusting it off to make sure it looks perfect for all the hungry bidders that are here to take home all these cars. Over 2,000 cars, no reserve. This is gonna be nuts. There's like 7 outside tents. All this will be filled up by tomorrow. And then there's hundreds of indoor cars. Boom, and just like that, it's the next day where we have our Corvette here on display in the South Showcase, ready for all these bidders to check it out, preview it before Friday night, where it sells across the block at no reserve. Let me show you how we set it up here.
So having come to Barrett Jackson all the time, we noticed that the best cars have a little signage, a little highlight spec sheet. So we wanted to do that. And then also some of the prettiest chassis have mirrors underneath them to showcase some of the suspension work, exhaust. And if only we had the front end raised up a little bit, we could see that dry sump engine, but it sits so low with that dry sump, even a mirror doesn't help us up front.
But the back, what a great idea on Christian's part to throw down the mirrors, because check this out. There's this staircase right here that leads from this big walkway down, and what's the first thing you notice? The fancy, shiny Billy Boat exhaust under this car. So we're getting a ton of people migrating over to the car. Well, just because it's a RestoMod 69 Corvette, everybody wants to see it closer, and then they see the engine, then they see the exhaust. It's definitely getting some eyeballs.
So the first step is getting a good lot number, and then getting good placement where it's sitting. Really lucky on this end cap. No cars are going in between us.
Yeah, fantastic placement here. We are definitely among good company. I mean, just look at some of the cars next to us. Here's this 67 Camaro with a supercharged V8. Come on, look at this thing. Boy, if money was no object and I could just buy any cars I wanted, I'd be coming home with a few of these bad boys. Look at these builds, absolutely stunning. And these are full RestoMods, custom interiors, tons and tons to pick from, something for everybody. So who knows, we might have to use some of our credit from the sale of the Corvette to bid on some of the other cool cars here. Oh, speaking of Corvette, we have another one right here. 68, what the heck? Even earlier than our car, but it's got the side exit exhaust, whereas ours comes out the rear. Comment down below which you guys think is cooler, because a lot of people have complimented the exhaust coming out the back, and I think it's super cool, but some people said, where's the side exhaust? So it's a preference thing, so comment down below, but I wouldn't change our car. I like it coming out the back.
Can you do side exit exhaust with these Stingray grills for air cooling? Does it defeat the purpose?
Yeah, wait a second, I'm not sure. Maybe not, because there's not a lot of room there, so if you put in an exhaust, you might get different fenders, question mark, question mark. Not too sure, but like I said, I want it coming out the back. It's definitely a work of art on this car. Okay, we'll show you guys around some of the cars. Of course, they have some exotics as well. Nice F430 here. Is it a manual? No. Of course it's not a manual. Wow, these seats are beautiful. This thing probably has, just based on the seats, I'm gonna go with 15,000 miles. Nice 993. See, GTC 4 Lusso, that's pretty neat. So obviously Barrett Jackson is known for their high caliber old collector cars, but they have the exotics as well. It's a Lusso T, so this is the V8, not the V12. If this was the V12, we might consider bidding on it, because hey, as you guys know, our Ferrari FF burned to the ground, and we really like that car. Shooting brake Ferrari style, so this is just that car but on steroids. It looks like he must have gotten a rock or some debris in the wiper and turned the wiper on and scratched the windshield. That happened on our first Gallardo, and that's an expensive piece of glass.
Just the windshield strip coming off of the blade, and then
so it's metal.
The tip, the end tip of it.
Ah, Christian's right, yeah. Oops, that was a little bit of a mistake. Okay, what else we got here? We got to track down those other Corvettes. Yeah, 1968. Okay, whew. Man, you can feel the heat coming off those side pipes.
Got the gills with the side pipes.
Christian's right, it does retain the same fender gills, but that's one thing about the side pipes. I don't mind the fact that with our car, you don't ever have to worry about burning your leg, whereas side pipes, every time you get out, you do have to worry. I probably still have the scar from the Viper when it burned my leg. It melted my skin instantly, right about here. I guess the scar's finally gone after 10 years, so yeah, side pipes come at a cost. Dang, Chris, we got some carbon fiber Corvette competition. This thing's decked out.
Dang.
What engine does it have? Does it say? Yeah, why isn't the hood popped? I guess that's why the hood's not popped, because an LS2 isn't anything sensational, but still. Two more, the blue one and this black one. Wow, dang, he took our idea. Just kidding, we took his idea. That's a great idea to angle it so you can see further down the car. Ah, very nice.
Wow.
Wow, it's got a little space heater here to keep it warm. Just kidding, that's for the lights.
Hidden tips.
Hidden exhaust, you're right. Where are they?
Yeah, dump straight down.
Oh, sure enough. Oh wait, It's because it comes out the side. Wait, what in the world is going on? He's got exhaust out the back, but exhaust out the side. Oh, so that's like a valve. It's a valve system. That makes it quieter, goes through more mufflers, and this is like straight off the side. Okay, that's pretty cool. Not gonna lie, this is a beautiful, beautiful car. Christian, look at this. LT4 supercharged out of a C7 Z06. What do you guys think about the wheels compared to ours? I'd take our wheels, but this is still pretty cool nonetheless. He's got upgraded brakes. It is an automatic though, so if somebody wants a manual, they're gonna go for our car over this. All right, the last C3 competing for all the bids Friday night. We have this blue RestoMod. Once again, comment down below, would you rather have these wheels? Out of the three, which wheels do you like the best? I might be biased, but I think our wheels are the coolest. And what engine is this? Christian, you got any clue?
They need a sign.
Yeah, where's his sign to explain what this is? 502 cubic inch. Holy guacamole, we thought our 427 was big. Okay, definitely an interesting spec though, Superman spec going on here. Some people, this might be a little too much, but again, these things are subjective.
It's a hot rod.
Yeah, definitely a wild hot rod build, but go ahead and comment down below, guys. Out of the 4 C3s, which is your favorite?
I don't think anything is gonna be going cheap from this South Showcase, but next video, we're gonna be outside taking a look at some JR Garage special kind of cars.
Yeah. Don't forget, guys, we like to bid on some cars at Barrett Jackson as well. We won that LT1 swap 944 Turbo and a couple other cars.
When you consign a car, you get a free bidder pass, a free line of credit based on what they estimate your car will sell for. So
dangerous. Dangerous. Why'd they give us that? Don't allow me to bid. We're gonna end up buying something. But we'll show you that next video when we tour some of the other cars in the other halls. But for now, we just wanted to end showing a few cars. Eleanor right here. Oh my gosh, I'm like a kid in a candy store running around. Oh my gosh, split window C2, this is so sick. I was just showing you guys the C3s, but look at this. Oh my gosh, these builds are gorgeous. Oh, I saw this one. It's got the saddle interior. Christian, you see this? It's like a King Ranch interior in a C2 Corvette.
Nice, over navy blue.
What do you guys think? That's a pretty out there combination, but I think it's pretty fun. Gorgeous car. It's probably gonna sell for like 300 grand or something.
Individual intake runners open.
Yeah, he's got a similar intake manifold with no covers on them. Very cool. C2s are definitely worth a lot more money than C3s. If our car was a C2 with that same build, it'd probably be 200, 300, 400 grand. But our car, still a 6-figure car, but who knows what it's gonna sell for at the end of the day. As you can see, the gates just opened and there are thousands of people in these halls looking over these cars, seeing which ones they want to bid on, and preparing themselves to shell out a ton of cash this week, so it's going to be thrilling.
Over 6,000 registered bidders.
Dang.
6,000 bidders.
We are about to get the most up-to-date feel on the health of the collector car market.
Yeah, it's got everything going for it. Perfect time lot, perfect condition, perfect bidders here. Friday night, Barrett Jackson. It's about to go down. Stay tuned for next video to see what it sells for. Place your comments down below. What do you think? Should we have a t-shirt for the person that is the closest guess?
Ooh, that sounds great. Perfect.
Okay, comment down below what you think our Corvette's gonna go for, and the closest guess wins some merch. How about that?
Deal.
That's always fun, right? All right, see you guys in the comments. Thank you for watching, and see you in a few days, Friday night.